Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Twan the Voice here at Shopkulture, and today is February 16th, 2021. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thank you so much for inviting us in. We have a lot to talk about. So please let me turn it over to Mr. Barry R. Crosby, Dr. Mr. James R. Hill.
What's up out there in shop culture land? Well, once again, we want to say that appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is, you know what it is, Shop Culture every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. The voice always adding Barry R. So now we're twins. You got James R. You got Barry R. I like that. All right. Once again, I'm joined. You know who this man is. He's the relationship guru, Dr./Mr. James R. Hill.
How's everybody doing tonight? Glad y'all could tune in.
And then I got that guy with that voice in the background.
Yo, what's up, people? Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
And I'm Barry Crosby. And once again, this is Shop Culture. Man, you had a good meme, man. But once again, before we get started and get going, how was your weekend, man?
Well,
because it was Valentine's Day. What did you and the missus?
It was Valentine's Day. There was nothing really. We decided not to exchange gifts, just spend time together. But tragedy hit my family. I'm sad. I mean, it was a tough weekend. Suicide hit my family. My nephew took his own life on Valentine's Day. So it's a sad time for my family, but we're keeping strong. Keep my brother, his dad, up in your prayers. He's got to keep strong. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. Well, I can't say that, but glad you're on earth with us another year. So,
oh man, our condolences to you and your family, and prayers to your family, man. And mental health, just
mental health,
discussing it, and it hasn't helped with this COVID. And one of the things with hopefully moving forward, us as a society, more so as a community, come together, man.
Right.
Because I think all of us are dealing with some type of mental health issue. And this is being honest.
Right. And take the time to check up on your loved ones. Check up on people. You would be surprised at a simple "how you doing today" could change someone's day, could change someone's life. So don't take a minute for granted. Check up on your people. You never know what someone's going through. And just a simple gesture that you were thinking about them could be enough to change their day, to change their life.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, and you're right. I had an old acquaintance hit me up out of the blue and said, hey, I had I just want to pray with you. And that could went a long ways.
Right.
You know, that's tough.
Right. There's nothing that you could say. I don't even know how to feel, and my prayers with my brother and my nephew's mom, that, they can stay strong in this time. My niece, Lucretia, she's going through a lot. That was her only brother. So pray for us. I'm praying for you guys, Chris, Sharon, Lucretia. Stay strong. I'm there for you.
Well, Doc, as a community, we're behind you and your family, all that you've given us. So this is our way of showing you love. So hopefully this, for an hour, will help.
I appreciate it. It's therapeutic to me. If I can give something to help someone's life, help someone's relationships, help someone's mental health and well-being to be a little uplifted, then I've done my mission. I've accomplished something.
Well, yes. And that goes for everybody out there. So maybe tonight after the show, we all kind of just take that moment of time and just say a prayer for each one of us,
Absolutely.
And man, well, okay, Doc, are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's give it to y'all, man. So guys, voice, I'm going to take it over there. Can you read the first meme?
Yeah, that's not a problem, man. We talked a lot about this, and one of them kind of stuck out, and that was, should couples stay together for the children's sake?
Real quickly, let's send some shout outs because we see the people showing their love and saying hello. Can we scroll up just a little bit? And I want to make sure. Coco, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. And how are you doing down there in Texas, right?
Yeah,
Man.
listen.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're going through it, Coco. We're praying for you as well.
Absolutely.
I know half the state's out of power. We hope you're staying warm. Hope you got food and you're staying healthy and prayed up. We're praying for you as well.
Absolutely. Josina said, hi, y'all. How you doing? Thanks again for tuning in. V, hello. Lillian said, happy birthday. Oh, yes.
Thank you all for your prayers. I really appreciate it. I had to come in the studio and do this just for therapy,
Yes.
just to keep active. It's
Absolutely.
therapeutic.
Can you scroll, Miss Stephanie? How you doing, Stephanie? Meldrick said prayers and condolences, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Gilliam.
Matt Johnson says Twan is the shit.
Shout out for Twan, the voice.
The voice.
Yo, much appreciated, man. Me and Matt go way back to when we deployed together in 2007. So much love for Matt. Appreciate you.
And Stephanie said God is the healer of the brokenhearted. Absolutely. In times of this, faith is what will pull us through.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. So let's get on this. So, should couples stay together for the children's sake? Doctor, what is your?
Well, for the children's sake, I say no. Even though, I mean, just the trauma of divorce takes a serious toll on the kids, but the toxicity that would be going on in the house of parents that are staying together just for the children's sake, it's counterproductive because they're going to be at each other and they're going to end up growing up into a toxic environment. And so I think if they aren't getting along, if you can't come to settle your differences, it's best to split up. But the important thing is there's going to be trauma involved when it comes to the children. So you have to keep close emotional bonds with your children and separate them from the issues that you have with your partner. You can't bring your children into that. Some people bring the children into their arguments, their disagreements, or even their divorce proceedings and use them as pawns. That's very immature, and no one hurts from that but the children.
Well, I come from a two-parent home, and you see how I turned out. So
you seem to be pretty stable.
You know what? When I seen this, because going through it, me and my son's mother has not been. We were together for. Oh, she's gonna kill me. I think 7, 8 years. I think so. And what I'm saying, and you trying to, at least from my perspective, coming from a two-parent home, I know the importance of it.
Right.
Stability.
Yes.
Being able to every morning see my father was very important to me. So I know I wanted to share that with my son.
Right.
Fortunately, that didn't work out. So what do you do? How important is it? Because it is very important, though. Because that stability, especially for, I would say, boys. I'm just coming from a boy's perspective. Seeing that father.
Right.
Spending that time with your father. So important.
Oh, absolutely. Because a boy needs to know how to be a man. And he's not going to learn from what you tell him. He's going to learn from what you show him. He's going to record everything you move. He's going to watch the way you move. And that's the way he's going to grow up and see that this is what a man does. So it's not what you say, but it's what you do. It's your actions that are going to show your son how to be a man, how you treat his mother, how you treat women in general. If you have respect, do you show respect? Do you have manners? things like this. This is what he's going to see, regardless of what you tell him. But I think if both parents are happier apart, it's better for them to be apart.
But it's that selfish, though, because nowadays, I would say people don't stay together and people don't really work on their relationship or work at it.
Right.
Back in the day, yes, a relationship might have been toxic or might have been have all these issues, but people work through that. Right. So I don't know which one is better.
Well, I think you should fight for your relationship for the sake of the marriage, for the whole family unit, and for the children. But if it becomes a toxic environment, that is no good for anyone. So, and if you two are happier separated, even though you're co-parenting, and if your children see that you are happy and you are actively involved in their lives, that's going to be good for their nurturing altogether. Because even if it's not their parents, if one parent moves on to another relationship or marriage, to have a good upbringing, kids need a positive male and a positive female influence in their life during their upbringing.
Interesting. We got a lot of comments. Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in to Shop Culture. Remember to like and share Shop Culture. And people that are watching Shop Culture on me and Doc's personal pages, remember, you're not going to see all the comments. You got to go to the Shop Culture official page.
Let's hear some of the comments, Twan.
Yo, we've got a few great ones. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for sharing your opinions and letting us know what you think. Yo, one of them came from Sabrina and said, no, especially if they are toxic to each other, talking about the parents.
I think that was Stephanie said.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. Oh, goodness. And then Stephanie also said, and the kids themselves become toxic or become enablers of toxic partners. So that's something that can definitely transcend generationally because they witnessed it so much they think that it's, the thing to be, the normalcy.
Or it can also have an opposite effect too, makes you know what you don't want to become when you see, saying
right.
That.
They can see that they don't, but unconsciously that's how they'll act because that's the only thing that they'll know. That's what they see, so they figure unconsciously that's the way it's going to be. What did Colleen say?
Colleen said 100% agree. It's better for your kids to see their parents healthy, even if not together. You have to rise above your differences and be good co-parents. Which is part of what you were talking about, Doc, which was, the co-parenting part.
You have to be amicable.
Yeah. And
do you have to be more than amicable, though?
Meaning what?
You really have to, because there's a lot of hurt. So let's say the relationship did not work out,
okay,
or is going through a divorce or whatnot. There's going to be a lot of hurt feelings going on. Is it all? Because kids see everything and they take in everything. Because I always hear that people say, "Oh, I'm amicable." Okay, but should you be more than that? Should you really show even more love, even if the relationship ended?
Absolutely. You should show more love to your kids because they're going to need more love. They're going to need more time. They're going to need more attention. They're going to need understanding on why. Why don't my mom and my dad live together? And a lot of kids will say, well, it's my fault. And they will think they will blame themselves for their parents not being together. And you have to send that clear message that your relationship with your kids is separate from your relationship with their other parents. They have to be clear. They have to know that this is between my mom and you. This is not between us. But then you cannot go and bash the other parent to your kids. That is the wrong thing to do. Never speak negatively about your kid's other parent. It is not a good look.
It's not, but we've heard that before. You get into a party and the drinks start pouring and oh my goodness. Yeah, it seems like, especially, when I'm talking to women, when they talk about the ex, it always becomes that male bashing type of.
Right. But I mean, to your kids, a lot of.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Kids are sitting right there, or kids are kind of in the area or whatnot. So
don't do it. It's not healthy for the kids. We got a lot of good comments. What did Karen say? Kids are so resilient. They know what's going on. I don't belong that it's healthy for the kids to stay in an unhealthy relationship. Kids will survive. Parents need to co-parent cohesively, and they do.
But I will also ask you, Karen, at what ages too? Because younger the kids, it's harder for them to accept, I think, than older children. Because I think older children, you start seeing relationships a little bit different.
Right. Well, it's harder for them to understand at a younger age, but you have to go into an agreement, regardless of what you were going through with a divorce or a split up, that you cannot expect your children to choose sides. And children are put in that position more often than not, where unconsciously, if it's said or not, they feel they have to choose a side. And a lot of that comes in through the custody battles. But you have to be smart. You have to look out for your children's mental health, for their stability and their upbringing, because they've got a lot going on. Their mind is learning, and you want to make sure that they're nurtured and they learn the right things.
Adolescents, all types of different, yeah.
Right, yeah. And then if they're coming into puberty, that's a whole nother thing, that they're having to deal with, that their body's making this change that they don't understand. So you want them to understand that your parents still love you. We're here. This is between them, and you have nothing to do with this. But you have to be empathetic. You have to show empathy for your kids that, hey, you have to be able to tell them, I screwed this up,
Well, okay, but
even if you didn't, let your kids know that you're not perfect. Because your kids look at you as the greatest superhero, the perfect one, especially under the age of 10, that you are their superhero. So they see no fault in you, and you have to let them know that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and this isn't working. This is what we have to do.
Did you notice? Because I know when I graduated, I noticed like a lot of parents were splitting up at high school graduation. So it seemed like, that's what I always say. It always seems like, is there a perfect age for that to occur? Like for you to get a divorce, or to leave a situation? I had that question. Is it when the kids are older, like I said earlier, or is it usually younger?
Well, I think when the kids are older, they understand more, or they understand more of what they see. So it's easier for them to cope with it. But then I see a comment up there from Will. Oh, you see, scroll past it. From William Mark Williams.
Will.
Hey. Says, I have friends from high school and former co-workers who are guys, where the mothers keep the children away from them and spread negative views into their children about their father.
And that's what I was saying earlier. And you get a lot of that.
That is so bad. People do not do that.
Absolutely not. Yes.
Because it's not going to change the way your children feel about their father. They're just going to look at negatively at you for talking bad against someone that they love and care about.
What are some of those other comments here? Colleen says, no bashing. Absolutely, yeah.
Kids internalize that, and they feel caught in the middle. And that is the very thing. Is that
easier said than done, though? Because we're saying that when you're in like a space like this, we're talking, but when you're upset, when you're mad, especially maybe as a man, when you lost your house. Okay. So lost 60% of your cash assets.
Well, I mean, you can get that back. That's a material thing. When my ex-wife and I
Meldrick said, yes, cheaper to keep her.
It is sometimes, but if you're looking at financial, but look, what about your mental health and your happiness? That's priceless. So, you can stay in a miserable situation in a house that doesn't feel like a home because you're miserable. You pull up in the driveway and you don't want to go into the house.
Oh, shoot. Oh, sorry. I felt that.
That's a miserable place to live, regardless of, what finances you have in your pocket.
And yes, yeah, there's something to be said about, because some people say, I want to be comfortable, but there's something to be said about being so unhappy that it leads to like health issues.
Right. And
hypertension,
And it can lead to health issues. That stress and that strain, yeah. It's better to be happy, separated, but to give your kids that love, and don't bash the other parent. What's that?
Was that Steph? What are you saying, Stephanie?
She said, I have a sister who's been a mother and a dad to her kids because dad has not shown interest on showing the son on how to be a man. Therefore, she has had to educate herself on how to educate her son. What's my take on that? You can educate your son.
Still need a man.
but you cannot teach him to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
Even if his dad is not stepping up, he needs a positive male influence in his life.
And it's a mentor someplace that can.
Yes, absolutely. A mentor, a coach, an uncle,
Yes.
someone that's going to spend time with him and is going to mentor him and show him how to be a man. I stick to my guns when I say a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man.
Oh, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
What are some of our viewers' take on that, though? Because I had some people that disagreed with you quite a bit on that. And kudos to your sister who's doing both, right? I mean, she's doing the best she can and obviously doing a great job. So kudos to her on that. But what are some of your viewers' take on that?
Coco said no woman can teach a man how to be a man.
Okay.
So that's at least one that's agreeing with you, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
V said, that she's seen this happen with my ex-fiance. Having a father who tried to be a good parent, but talked terrible about his son's mother. Fast forward to today, and his son is doing 65 years in prison. That's,
It's sad. It's sad, but it was probably
Is that a materialization of that direct thing?
Well, I mean, it could be the root cause of why he headed in that direction. I mean, not having the positive male influence in his life, not having the balance.
But there's other issues and reasons why he's going 65.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
but what led him to that was the root cause of the problem.
That could be a variety.
It could be a variety of things. But when you have a stable, positive male and a female influence in your life that are keeping you active, that are showing you love, that are giving you a positive support system throughout your life, it's healthy. It's more healthy than your parents to live in the same house for appearances, for what you say is for the children, which may be for their finances, but it's basically for appearances. We have a family,
but they're still there in the house, though. So,
but it's a toxic environment.
But if it's not toxic,
what
if it's a roommate type of situation?
Okay,
and maybe maybe it's not showing the passion, the make believe passion that happens. But
well, then why are you not together? Why can't you be together?
But there's a lot of people that stay in relationships just because. It doesn't mean that it's a toxic relationship, though.
Well, there's some reason that you're not loving on each other, and you've created
grow
children,
evolve to the different.
So you're saying you stay together for the kids, even though you've fallen out of love with each other, and you think you can coexist as friends?
But love takes on many different forms, though, over the course of time, though. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've seen situations, and I'm pretty sure situations where there are people that are comfortable in the situation that they're in. They still have love for one another. Are they in love? Well, what's the definition of in love?
Okay,
having sex every, saying maybe they don't. Maybe it is a sexless relationship. I don't know.
Well, then that becomes
a roommate. That's why I said a roommate situation.
Yeah, it's a roommate situation where you're not happy, where you're not totally happy. You're not with the person where you're happy. And some people may stay for comfort, and the kids are not going to see that love, and they may not see you showing intimacy, seeing you hugging, see you kissing, see you telling each other you love each other. So that they're going to grow up thinking, well, that's how you treat a woman. You don't tell them you love them. You don't hold them. You don't show empathy when they're upset. You don't deal with their problem, but because they're coexisting for the kids to be comfortable in a situation when they're probably better apart.
Interesting. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys think that there's more to it being in a marriage, that even if it is a partnership or a roommate situation, is that unhealthy? And you're doing mostly for the children.
Yeah, let's hear you guys. Colleen says both girls and boys need a positive role model. Girls need to be shown how a man should treat a woman. Abandonment issues from either parent are long lasting. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wait, can you scroll up real quick? Because Stephanie said something about what I think it was a response to what we said. She said, sister says, I totally disagree. A woman can totally raise kids. Ooh. So Stephanie's sister said that what you're saying is incorrect about.
I stick to my guns, and I disagree with that. A man needs to learn how to be a man from a man.
And I second that from James. You can do the best you can. We're not taking anything away. but it still needs to have a man.
Right. You can give them a woman's perspective and they'll respect it coming from someone that they love. You can give them a woman's perspective on what a man is supposed to do, but you cannot show him. And that's where boys learn to be men, by what they see, by actions.
And you can see the difference, because even working in a barbershop, when you see mothers bringing it in, which is great, nobody's taken away from it, but still that male influence. There's certain things that a strong man teaches, a young boy.
Right. And like Coco said, I raised 2 sons, and I can never teach them what their father taught them, as well as their cousins and uncles. Just like a man can't teach a girl how to be a woman. That's absolutely true.
Yes.
Because there are so many things that
goes into it that we don't have any type of knowledge about.
Absolutely.
Or very basic knowledge, but that in-depth, no. That's why you always go and find, if the man has a girlfriend or some, or aunties or grandmother, that's why they go and seek them out.
Right. To come and help you with them girls. And don't mention trying to do the hair.
Oh my goodness.
Just what if you had a girl right now?
Oh shoot, bro. No.
You'd be open carrying.
No. You see what I sent you yesterday?
Right, yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
With a girl, you had to open carry and let the boys
be
know.
16 too, and she was. Oh no, I'm like, yeah. I remember I was 16. Oh, it's all.
Right. You have to invite them boys over and ask them, does you know how to clean the shotgun?
That's where you put that gun right there on the
You know how to clean that shotgun?
Bro, we're gonna go out here. We're gonna do some urban hunting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what did V say? I grew up in a single parent home. There is an old saying that mothers raise their daughters, but take care of their sons.
Mm-hmm.
This is not always healthy. A woman can show a man how he should treat a woman, but they need a positive male.
Absolutely, V.
Absolutely.
Great points. And what did Miss Hill say up there too? I agree. A boy needs his father to teach him things women can't. Women can't, excuse me.
Right.
Absolutely. And can you read the voice? Can you read Williams?
Sure, not a problem. Williams said that he agreed with what had been said, but also said that he thinks that the legal system needs to change. This state is so swayed to give custody decisions to the mother, no matter if the father may be the better parent for the children. It should be equal weight for both parents should they decide to divorce.
That's actually a great topic.
That is.
So, because I agree with William. How maybe Miss Hill can, because I know she has expertise in this, can tell us some few things about it. That system needs to change. The system is skewed one way.
Oh, absolutely. And that varies from state to state. And it's unfortunate that Washington State tends to lean towards the woman.
No matter what, though.
Yeah.
The woman has to be like on drugs, damn near,
You have to prove her to be an unfit mother, pretty much, to get custody of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even shared custody, 50-50, is hard to get in Washington State. I mean, it's really hard unless both parties agree to it and it doesn't come down to a mediation thing. If both parties agree, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But if you leave it up to the courts, they're leaning towards the woman.
And so let's ask some of our women viewers, do you think the system needs to be changed? Because there are some great fathers out there, right, who are getting screwed.
Right. And there are a lot of single fathers out there.
And single fathers out there. And absolutely, Doc, you are absolutely correct.
What did Sabrina say? Many women have been given no other choice and had to raise their kids on their own. In those cases, she is the best one for the job. Queens can raise strong princes to be successful kings. A queen is perfectly capable of teaching her son to be respectful, hardworking, charming, and successful. It's been happening since the beginning of time. Yes, she can teach him all that, but she cannot teach him the values, the respect, the work ethic of a man, the leadership. There's a lot of things. She can instill positive values in her son, yes, but there are a lot of male attributes where that young man needs a positive male influence in his life to teach him how to be.
That's when that boy is going adolescence
A healthy man.
and you know, saying discussing certain things that you can't discuss with your mother.
Right.
You can't.
And yeah, and you end up discussing it with your buddies
Who are giving you bad
and
advice
making bad decisions
and making bad
based on
decisions.
that.
I'm telling you, yes. You know, I was blessed to have my father. Yeah. What did Coco? Coco said that's a whole mother topic, but accurate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Let's see here. Coco says we are not saying that that she can't teach him to be a man. Yeah, no. Like we keep on saying. So, but when you're trying to do the best you can, but seek out that mentor, seek out that coach. It is so important.
Right. Your brother, your uncle, a pop, someone that's doing good.
Okay. What did Miss Hill say about the parenting plan?
Ms. Hill said that in the parenting plan, there is a whole section on decision making. And unless there are compelling reasons why one should not play a role in decision making, it's usually joint decision making. Now, again, custodial parent is different from decision making.
Okay. Can you, Miss Hill, tell us what the difference is custodial parenting, what exactly that is? There's a lot of people that, especially a lot of men, that don't understand that. So if you can. Cynthia says, I'm enjoying your topic today. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cynthia, for watching. And thank all of you guys for watching. This is Shop Culture. Remember to like and share. And remember, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're all over the place.
Right. Absolutely.
So we want to talk about that very quickly, though. We just started our YouTube page, so please subscribe to it. And we have a lot of different content that we're going to actually put on there, from actually barbershop content. So,
right. Good question. What are good traits of a man?
Oh,
that's a good question. I'm glad she asked.
We got two of them right here. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? Maybe one, but you know,
the good traits of a man that are instilled in a boy that a woman can't teach him are, number one, respect. Respect for women, respect for people in general.
Yeah. And respect for authority, just
right.
And what you said in general, but I would even say authority. You know?
To be strong, to show strength, even though you can show your emotions.
Wait, ding, ding.
Oh, absolutely.
So showing emotions is up there for you.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yes. A boy needs to know that a man can show his emotions, but in the same time, you have to show strength.
Okay.
You show respect.
Leadership is very important.
Yes, leadership, restraint. Know when to speak and know when not to speak. Know when to fight and what to fight for. Know when to walk away. I mean, these things, know who to fight and who not to fight. Know good from bad, bad from foul, and right from wrong, pretty much, from a man's perspective. And you're not going to tell him this through lectures. You're going to show him this through your actions.
And another thing, boys absorb how their father reacts in these situations too.
Absolutely.
So observation is such a key component. Bubby, man, my guy Bubby, man, how you doing, brother? Long time. Steph, she came with it. She said, respect. What culture of man are you referring to?
Well, I'm referring to an American culture, in an African American culture, or in a mixed race culture, or whatever it is. Culture really has nothing to do with it when it comes to being a man. You have to grow up to be a man. You make a plan. You get your education. You take care of yourself. You get your affairs together. You take care of your credit. You take care of your finances.
So you're saying being well-rounded.
Yes, absolutely. You have to be educated. You have to educate them financially. You have to know that in order to get ahead in life, you have to set goals, and then you have to make a plan to achieve that goal. And then once you achieve that goal, you repeat. I mean,
Yes, and what you're saying, and another thing like keeping your word. I mean, all those things play a part, and we're not saying again that a woman can't teach those, because those are valuable life lessons. But there's just something that a man has to be able to teach that young boy, and to the young boy to see it, to understand it, to recognize it.
Exactly, because most women will not teach a young boy the importance of your word. Your word is your bond.
Man, come on. Don't teach.
Your word is your bond. That's
preaching.
Like a signature. That's like a contract. But a woman has a prerogative to change her mind. And that's what a boy is going to see.
But right. And a man is going to, yes, yeah. Oh, Steph, she says, no, sorry, I disagree. Culture and background has a lot to do with it. Well, you need to explain that, Steph.
Absolutely.
Because I don't.
But to raise a man, you need to raise him to survive in a multicultural environment.
So culture, yeah. What does that? I mean, what does culture play in this process?
Well, I mean,
how would it?
It's important to know cultural diversity when you're engaging in a relationship with different people, be it your friends, your boss, your teachers, whatever. It's good to know their culture in order to be able to respect it, to show respect for their culture, because you don't want to say something that's totally disrespectful and not know that you offended this person. So it's good to be knowledgeable about, cultural diversity.
Wouldn't that be where the man has helped that boy understand that?
Absolutely.
We got other, can we see some of the other comments and read some of them?
Okay, wait. Oh, you went the wrong way.
Okay.
Custodial.
What did Miss Hill say about custodial? Because this is very important, guys. We want to.
Miss Hill said that the custodial is generally where the child resides or who the child resides with, and nowadays mostly that is the mother. So I mean, you guys can say what you want, but that's what we were talking about before. Custody is where the child lives, and in the state of Washington, where we currently are, that generally is leaning with the mom.
Right. And it does happen, which is where fathers really need to step in and be an active part of your son's life, regardless of who the custodial parent is.
And that's the thing I was going to also say is, regardless of what the courts say, you should still be active.
Absolutely.
In your
what
children.
Was that William said? I saw a comment.
Wait, then Josh, we have I'm okay.
He said, my mom pretty much raised me up to set me up to be a man. When I was going through my high school year, my father was too.
My father was ill. I'm sorry.
Oh, my father was too ill to really raise me. Okay. By setting me up, I mean, she laid the foundation for me to be mentally strong, never giving up. Joining the Army was really when I learned how to be a man on my own through job skills, teamwork, independence, confidence, and leadership. So from men. So, and most guys go in the military at a young 17, 18, and you learn leadership. You learn how to be a man. You learn how to be strong, how to set yourself up, that your word is your bond. You make handshake deals. Women don't generally make a handshake deal and know the importance of that. Yeah, we shook on it. I gave him my word. I'm not going back.
Yeah, and I would say their bond is different.
Right. Because they know that they have that prerogative to change their mind.
Yeah. But the handshaking, yes.
One great thing is Mildred said, a man can't keep moving women to women and try to teach all these kids to be a man.
You know what? Great point. Yeah. Yeah. So you can't act like you're single.
No, you can't.
That's fair.
I mean, if you are, you can't expose your kids to that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to say. You can't be having just different women around there. Right. So, yeah, that's great. And that goes for both women and men, I would say, right? So,
right. What's that one, Twan?
It says, my grandfather was raised by a single mother whose father died when he was a baby. My grandfather led and educated a whole village from the skills his mother instilled in him. Mm-hmm. He was an amazing husband and raised amazing children. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is single mothers can also raise kings. That is amazing, man.
Okay.
I mean, and we all have a difference of opinion, like I said, and what they did, what your grandfather did was amazing.
Right. And I'm willing to bet he had positive male
It was
influences
somebody in there.
in his life.
Yeah.
In his upbringing and in his teenage
And if
years.
he didn't, kudos to him for doing for what he did, right?
Absolutely.
Let's see, Josh. What's up, Josh? I see you in there. Josh, you back? You back watching, huh? I just gotta mess with you, brother.
Always a good one. Josh asked, "How about a white father raising mixed young queens because the mother is absent?"
It doesn't change what we're, you're doing the best you can, and that's great. But you still, again,
right.
She needs,
and those girls, they need a female influence in their life. And if they're mixed race kids, if their mother is black, they need to know that black culture from a black woman's point of view.
Well, and they're black.
Yeah, right.
One thing that I really do have to talk about real quick is something that Cynthia said, and said that you're right, but look at our young men today. Who's teaching them no respect?
I think for a lot of us, we've failed. We have got to do better.
Right. We have failed with our youth, a lot of us, and a lot of
without the streets, without music, we allowed a lot of different things.
Right.
To
single parent households.
Yeah.
Not having the time to deal because of your career or what have you.
Yeah.
And the kids end up raising themselves with them and their friends.
Oh yeah. And yes. And I'm looking in the mirror myself too. So yeah, we all can do better. Absolutely. Steph says, I'm African, and growing up, respect is part of our culture for both men and women. Therefore, a man and women can raise a man to be respectful. Fair.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm here. So we're in America. So that's what we're talking maybe from this perspective. So, not to discredit what you're saying, because that's great. Yes.
What the Coco? You got Coco's?
Yeah, I was going to. You go ahead and take
it.
Okay,
no, go ahead, man. That's why you're there.
Yeah, we.
Coco said, "I don't understand why women think they can. She can teach a boy how to be a man better than a man. I wonder if they understand men at all. Women do their best if the father is absent, but when there is a father figure present or a positive male role model, they're more well-rounded. The child will find that male role model somewhere. You're kidding yourself if you think the woman did that herself."
Ooh,
that part.
Ooh.
I agree with you, Coco.
Me and Coco on the same.
Right.
It's a bond, Coco.
And it's important that a boy finds that male role model in his life, that it's a positive person that's doing good, it's able to mentor him, or he's going to go to the streets. He may end up in gangs. He may end up in prison. He may end up going down the wrong avenue.
Say music
and
plays such a big part in that.
Right. And looking up to the wrong role models.
Yes.
It may be rappers or entertainers.
Yeah.
Or athletes. Some athletes are not the best role models.
I would say no. I mean,
there are a few anomalies, like take LeBron James.
They should not be over your father. If you have a strong father, they should never be, saying, yes, you admire what they do in terms of on the athletic.
Right. But then you admire, I admire what LeBron does off the court,
But I would admire somebody like yourself who gets up, goes, saying.
So right. But kids tend to look up to who they see.
Yeah, they don't see your dad getting up at 4 a.m. Grinding or staying on the street.
And if they see, like the song said, if they see the dope deal out there driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, then you want to grow up to be just like them. That's his role model. If he doesn't have a positive male influence in his life.
Yes.
And it'll take him down the wrong avenue every time.
V said that social media, the music they listen to, lack of structure, cultural, leadership, and the type of people adults are laying with plays a part with a lot of disrespect from a lot of young people as well.
That right there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, V. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, do you guys really think that we're giving that much control to those to those outside influences?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because it's all around you.
Yeah, and it's commercialized.
It's commercialized, and we allow it.
Yeah.
Like I had an older gentleman who said something, and it was really interesting. He said he was amazed how he'd be around young kids, and kids are just cursing.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, yeah, you might curse, but you're cursing among yourselves until you seen an adult. It didn't matter who the adult was.
Right.
You just, you know what I'm saying? Now,
some kids are cursing at adults.
And like what? Like, or even the conversation that they have, a certain conversation, you wouldn't just have with adults present.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Stephanie, what
Steph said?
She's not giving up.
Steph,
let's hear it.
What's going on?
Said, okay, why not talk about the absentee man father? Why not talk about the man who walked out of his kids, specifically man? Therefore, the woman is left without a choice but to do her best. Then what?
We gave you we actually said that earlier.
Absolutely. What? You find a positive male influence to interject into his life to mentor that child. Coach, brother, uncle, someone positive who's doing good is going to teach that boy the values of how to be a man. Yeah. And the tables also turn on that, because women walk out on their kids, come the victim of addiction or whatever the case may be, or just decide they don't want a mother, and there are fathers that are out here raising their kids just the same.
Absolutely.
Sounds like you got some underlying issues, Stephanie.
Steph, what's going on, Steph? Talk to us, man. What you up to? Hey, and we called them out too on this show.
Right.
Actually, we said that earlier. We said, yeah, we have to do better. That's all of us.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So be conscious of this, guys. When you look at these kids, they're our future. So what we put into them is just like a garden. If you don't fertilize it and water it and nurture it, protect it from the sun, and then don't expose it to elements that are going to be harmful to it, it's not going to grow and it's not going to prosper.
Yeah.
Treat your children like.
And Stephanie, she says, "Why am I not good enough?" We're not saying you're not good enough. Please understand that. Nobody.
Oh, did somebody say that?
That's what Steph said. That we said.
Or
she asked the question. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm not sure if it was just rhetorical, but she says, "Why am I not good enough?" We're not saying you're not good enough at all. We just said, in addition to.
Right.
That's all.
Absolutely.
And you got a barber. You got barbers. You got Doc here. So you got male. You got the voice.
We're trying to give you something good.
Yeah.
Colleen said, my brother and I were raised primarily by a single mama, but we were blessed to have a strong male role model in our grandfather and later our stepfather. As women need to be sure our kids have that positive male influence.
Absolutely.
Colleen, right on.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Be conscious of that, people.
Yes.
And don't use your kids as pawns. I mean, divorces happen since this pandemic. Divorces increased by 46%.
I read almost 58%.
58. It's up 58%.
So we're not out of
March of last year.
Yeah, and you got New Year, so people got to start brand new.
Right. There's a lot of custody battles. There's a lot going on within these divorces that's happened within this last year. So don't let your kids get in the middle of that, and be conscious that your kids are suffering just as you are.
Yeah, and be aware. Be aware. Let's, guys, and thanks again. This is actually a great topic, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the topic, and I hope you guys enjoy Shop Culture every Tuesday. And guys, type that. I want you to see the comments. What time do we come on? I want to see if people know. How about that? Give us the next topic real quick.
All right, fellas, we got this one, and it's, as adults, we've seen it, we've dealt with it, we've at least had somebody close to us deal with it. How do you handle somebody trying to get out of the friend zone?
Give us an example, because
you're hanging out as friends. It's strictly platonic. Nothing has almost gone down. And they keep trying to throw those hints like they want something more, but you're cool with them being in that friend zone.
Okay.
How do you deal with with somebody trying to come at you?
I think with caution, right? Saying nobody likes rejection. So there's a way that you can, state that you're not interested.
Right. There's a way that you can stay.
Yeah, you have to find, because everybody's different, so
but-
you can't just say, you know, saying just a blanket statement. I don't think it's going to work. You got to know who the person is that's telling you that. You got to know what type of vibe that they're giving off, and what type of vibe, like what type of. I mean, how do you tell them no? You know,
That's a great question.
so
You have to come out and have that candid conversation up front. It's going to be kind of awkward and uncomfortable, but that conversation has to be had when that situation presents itself. You just have to weigh, is our friendship more important than the fact that we could get into a relationship that could go bad, that may not work out, or then retract to what are the reasons we originally didn't get into a relationship and this turned into a friendship.
But Michelle said you be transparent.
Absolutely.
Correct, but not everybody can handle that.
Right.
And so nowadays, I think there is a certain way, unfortunately. It's not like how maybe it is back in the day. You have to be sincere, you know, have some type of grace maybe in how you
But
reject.
in any case, it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. You have to be able to have that candid, uncomfortable conversation and let your feelings be known. Let it know what it means to you. Well, I like you as a friend, and I don't really feel that for
moving
you.
forward.
I don't really feel that for you, but we're great as friends. We get along. I love you as a friend, but I don't see us as a couple.
Yeah.
So Doc, are you gonna strike up that serious conversation where they're just trying to, you know, throw slight little looks your way and stuff like that, and they're not overly saying, "Hey, let's link up."
Flirtatious?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You ask.
they're just throwing the little hints here and there.
Well, then you ask for clarity on those hints. You ask for clarity on those looks. What does that look?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that look? Am I reading the wrong thing here? Because this is what I'm reading.
If she puts her booty like on your hands.
Oh, well, that's pretty apparent.
Okay.
So.
I didn't know.
I mean, is she gonna put it? I mean, she may look at you as one of the girls, you know. I thought you were gay, you know, one of those things.
Yeah.
Colleen said, if you truly respect them as a friend, you have to be honest and be mindful of not leading them on.
Right.
Yeah, and that's hard to do sometimes because some people want to look at just anything.
Right.
That you're leading them on. But you smiled at me. Well, I smile. I got big teeth. I smile a lot.
Right. So then you have to ask them, are you the impression that I'm flirting with you? Do you feel that I'm leading you on? You know, ask these questions. Yes. You know, if they're giving you that look, you have to ask them, well, what's in that look? Am I giving you the wrong impression? You know, we're our friends, and I'm cool with that. That's how we're going to be. Am I giving you any impression other than that? You know.
Yo, interesting.
I mean, you do have that's a direct approach. That's it. I mean,
yeah, take that direct approach, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you have to say it. You have to ask those questions.
Absolutely. Mildred says women don't want a good man as a friend.
Well.
Women, is that true?
Good question.
But you got to be, you know, men sometimes we say good, but sometimes woman has to be attracted to you too. I mean, just because you're good and she's not attracted to you, it's just kind of, you know.
But as women get older and mature, they lean more towards stability and what a good man is as a good man, as opposed to being physically attracted to them. You know, that it's more the security and less the physical attraction. Because as you get to know them, you're going to become more attracted to them and fall in love, and you're going to feel secure, and that's part of that love.
Okay, Coco said.
Coco, what part is not true, Coco?
Yeah, she said
let's get some clarification.
Yeah, straighten us out, Coco.
Please do.
And Miss Hill said, I said flat out, tell them friends only. Why overthink it?
Right. Yeah.
Good question.
But if they're getting the wrong impression, you want to know, are you giving them signals that they're getting the wrong impression from, and clear up what those signals actually are. No, I didn't mean that when I did that. No, I did. That's not what that meant when I said that. This is what I meant. You know, no offense, but
I mean, Doc, you're at a bonfire summertime.
What the heck?
No, I mean, not you particularly, but I mean, hypothetical. I mean, you chilling at a bonfire.
Hell no, you ain't
all of a sudden, like they seem to be making their way a little bit closer. like, what are we doing? Are we busting out the serious conversation, or how are we trying to block this person from escaping the friend zone?
Time and place.
Well, maybe it's she feels she was cold. She wants to get close to you. It's warm, but you have to be able to read body language. And I mean, just because you're sitting close to someone doesn't mean are you touching hands? Are you rubbing knees and things like that? Are you giving these signals that you're taking it to the next level, or are you friends? I mean, you sit next. I'm sitting next close to Barry right now, but I'm not going. But we're friends. I mean, you know, it could be a thing like that. You know. So, I mean, you ask if you have a question in your mind. Ask the question.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? What's going on here? Am I missing something? You know, get clarity.
So true. Well, guys, we're coming close to the end of our show. We want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching Shop Culture. You know what it is. Every Tuesday, 8:30. Remember to like and share. Subscribe to Shop Culture YouTube page. So we're going to get to the last words.
Absolutely. We can go there. So it's been a challenging week. I'm glad everyone made it out of the snow all right. And I want to remind you again, there's a lot of people that are shut in. There's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things. Make sure you check on your people. Mm-hmm. Just to say, what's up? I'm thinking about you. I want to know how you're doing. That's all it takes. But when it comes to these marriages and divorces, and it all usually starts with disagreements. And what turns simple disagreements into full blast negative arguments is usually the tone that gets injected into the conversation.
Absolutely.
Raising your voice, increasing the speed of your speech, interjecting profanity, not allowing the other person to complete their thoughts or sentences are signs that a conversation is taking a left turn. All of these are controllable with a little discipline. Sure, it's okay to disagree with each other, but it's not okay to be disrespectful. Know the signs and check them immediately. Your relationship could be at stake.
Good point, Doc. Good point.
Doc on it again. You can buy his book on Amazon.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon. Guys, once again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to Shop Culture. You know who this man is. The relationship guru. Mr./Dr. or Dr./Mr. James R. Hill.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to have to go back and read all these comments.
There's a lot of good comments, guys. And you know, guys, we're going to say something. We want to continue the comments off air, too.
Absolutely.
Because there have been some really good comments, and sometimes it gets lost with all the other comments, but we want to make sure that we reach each and every one of you guys. You know who that man is behind the screen or
yo, what's up?
The laptop,
guys. Appreciate
the microphone.
It's Twan the Voice.
Say your name.
Yes, sir. Twan the Voice, hanging out with you guys here at Shop Culture. Appreciate you, Mr. Barry Crosby.
And I'm Mr. Barry R. I don't know what the R means, but we're going to make it something else.
Cynthia McCraney, one of our high school friends I do, Cynthia. She said she wished she could have caught it from the beginning. Well, we're going to do a watch party.
Watch party, yeah.
Or you can catch it from the beginning. It was a good one.
Yes, it was.
Have a good night.
And thank you guys once again. Man, stay safe.
Absolutely.
And be blessed.
Be blessed. Prayed up.